I don't care if he's the brother of the president. It's not gonna help you, so I don't need to hear this. You're drunk. What's your name? Tell me your name. Show up for court again drunk, we're gonna have a big problem. You're still drunk.
This is the time and date sentencing.
Your name, sir?
All
All right, I want to make sure, first of all, have you had a chance to review, he pled, by the way, to this, under height at a window peeping,
That's correct.
and, he was to go to AA twice a week. Have you
Yeah.
seen that form?
10 visits.
He's been doing that? Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Should I submit this to your clerk for copy?
No, that's all right. I trust you. He's gonna need to keep that, okay?
Yeah, he's been doing really well on that.
Good.
Very seriously. Whenever you're ready, I can address the PSI.
Yeah, have you had a chance to review the report? And are there
We
any-
did. We looked over this morning. I went over with my client. The only real issue is that we had, seems to me like outpatient counseling is a bit extreme. If he's testing twice a week, he's been clean, he's been following the court's recommendation and order. As far as AA goes, maybe if the court was inclined to entertain that particular element, that if he tested positive, maybe that it could trigger outpatient. Because he expressed to me this
Well,
morning.
I mean, I think their concern is, he had THC in his system. He acknowledged he was using marijuana and he had 10 beers and now he's going in the backyard of somebody's house and window peeping. I mean, I don't think it's that extreme, but I get it. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, and I think that's a very valid point, and I think that's something that he expressed to me this morning was that, I think he's relieved that this ended where it did, and it didn't result in something more extreme. I mean, people get shot for stuff like that. And that was something that he expressed to me was that, in the grand scheme of things, the severity of it was probably as minimal as it could be. But Judge, yes, I would say that, given the fact that going to 2 AA sessions per week and has, weekly or bi-weekly testing, whatever the court would order on that. If he did test positive and he's quit smoking marijuana for the most part, I think. If he tested positive for alcohol or drugs, any illegal drugs at any point in time, then at that point in time, couldn't that trigger an outpatient program?
That's your argument.
Yes.
I got it. Anything else? Either one of you?
Read you everything?
I just want to say that was a dumb mistake and I'm glad it turned out the way it did. Could have been a lot worse.
And you went over and got fingerprinted, right?
Yeah, I did, right after the last court date.
By the way, I just need to ask, is there a Tyler or Brooklyn Wilson here?
I got this stuff.
All right, I'm gonna take this under the Motor Vehicle Training Act. As agreed upon, that's what you guys agreed upon, I'll do that. 15 months probation, you cannot leave the state without the consent of the court, you cannot violate any law or ordinance. You change your address, place of employment, or home telephone number, you must notify probation, you have to report as directed, no alcohol, no marijuana, no illegal controlled substances, you're not to purchase, possess, or consume any one of those, you're just kratom, poppy seeds, and CBD oils are prohibited. Consuming food or other items containing those substances will be deemed a violation. You're to submit to chemical testing PBTs bi-weekly for 4 months. If you're clean, I'll then make it monthly. No contact with Brooklyn Wilson or her family members. no contact with her or her family members. You're not to enter the property or go near the property address of 19116 Hyde Park Court in the city of Woodhaven. I'm going to order 4 days jail. I'm going to let you serve those as follows. 3 days on the court work program. There's a $35 a day charge for that for a total of $105. And 1 day or 8 hours of community service, which you have to complete in this case by March the 20th. I am going to order that you continue attending AANA twice a week in person until you're in outpatient treatment. I'm going to order outpatient treatment as well. We're to attend that and complete that. Fines. So you understand the sentence so far?
Yes.
Fines are 100, costs are 200, 75 victims' right fee, $50 justice assessment, 4 1/4, screening fee 60 for 485. Probation fees are 300 for 785 plus your court work program fees. Your total's 890. If you violate, your probation could be revoked. You could be incarcerated for 90 days. You have 21 days to appeal and 14 days to apply for a court-appointed lawyer for purposes of appeal if you cannot afford them. You understand that?
Yes.
All right, that's what I'm gonna do. Does he have all of this to pay?
I'm sure he probably would need some time to make payments, Bill.
How much do you have today?
No. I didn't want to pay it all time sheet.
I didn't ask you that. How much do you have to pay?
I can pay 100. I can pay 100.
$100 now, 75 a week, you can do that, right?
Yeah.
75 per week, I'll give you a little bit of leeway or give you a little bit of a head start, so to speak. So I won't have you pay this until February the 27th, and you'll meet with probation. And if you ever don't have the money, you call the clerk on Zoom, I'll give you an extension, okay? Honor before the duty. Good luck. Thanks, counsel. Lori Gabe Hinkle, 26W841130A. And B,
Yes, sir.
you're drunk.
Well, sir. I messed up.
You said no, sir. What's your name? Tell me your name.
My name's Lori Gainville.
You got a .166 on the PBT.
I was drinking till 4 o'clock in the morning. I didn't. Know that I couldn't do that was.
You're still drunk.
No, it was.
Both, no.
Man, we've got a .166. Who drove here?
My friend.
Who's- Is this the guy here? Did he drive?
Sir Raymond, Sir Ronald Raymond Hamilton, the left president,
Slow down.
president
What?
of the United States.
Hang on a second. Who?
The 11th cousin to the United States president,
What's his name?
Sir Ronald Raymond Hamilton. The cousin to the president.
You ready?
Yeah.
The president of the United States?
Yes,
The president right now?
yes, sir.
He's shaking his head no. Why is he shaking his head no? If he's not the president, why?
No, he's not president, he's the 11th cousin.
11th cousin. He's shaking his head no. That he's not the 11th cousin. And honestly, I don't care if he's the brother of the president. It's not gonna help you, so I don't need to hear this. What I do want you to know, if you show up for court again drunk, we're gonna have a big problem. I'm gonna reschedule your case. Sir, you cannot let her drive. Do you understand?
Thank you, Trish. You know.
Well, you gotta,
Pledge allegiance.
I'm sorry,
Pledge allegiance.
pledge allegiance? Is that what you said?
Yes. I'm unjustified.
Just relax. Heather, give me another date, will you please? I should probably have you locked up until you go down. Give me another date.
We could do February 18th. at 9:45.
Come on up here, sir. What is your name?
My name is Ron, and
Did you drive her here?
yes, I did, in fact, mom and alcohol when she got up.
You live with her?
Well, she stayed with me last night. She asked me 2 days ago if I'd come with her. So really happened. She left my house when she got,
Is she gonna have access to a motor vehicle?
no. Not that bad.
Do you own a motor vehicle, ma'am?
That's what
Does she?
a 2010 Ford from
She owns it.
light gray.
Well, hang on a second. You just told me she didn't have access. If she owns a motor vehicle, how does she not have access to the vehicle?
I'm the one when we not just. I picked him last night.
Go down the hall, get your new date. It's going to be February 18th
For your 18.
at 9:45 in the morning.
You think 45 no alcohol.
Don't show up drunk.
Yes.
Don't show up after consuming alcohol.
Okay, sir.
We understand?
Okay.
Sir, I'm gonna let her go. I'm gonna trust you're not gonna give her those keys.
Thank you. I'm trying to get her into a treatment center for alcoholism.
All right, let's not have any further discussions here, okay?
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna do. Do not drive. Do you understand?
Yes,
Do not drive. You understand?
Yes,
Sir.
Go down the hall. They'll give you a notice. Thank you. Raymond Kirk Hamill.
Good morning, Your Honor.
This is file 26W84017. Good morning, Mr. Gilbert. How are you?
All right. Would you like my appearance?
Yes, please.
Mark Gilbert, P71034 for Mr. Hamill, who is to my left.
Sir, your name?
Your name?
Raymond Hamill.
All right. Can he get a little closer or speak louder? Come on up here, Mr. Hamill. Tell me your name again, please.
Raymond Cargamel.
All right. So, Mr. Gilbert, for purposes of arraignment, does he stand mute and waive formal reading?
We do, Your Honor.
And then you pre-tried this with the prosecutor, true? And he's going to plead guilty to the added count of operating while visibly impaired with the OWI to be dismissed, true?
That is accurate.
Is that what you want to do, Mr. Hamill?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you do that, the possible penalties are up to 300 fines, 93 days jail, 360 hours community service. Court costs are all 4 points, license suspension or revocation in accordance with your record. Your vehicle could be or might have to be immobilized depending upon your record. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You are presumed innocent. They have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to a trial by court or jury. You have the right at a trial to testify or remain silent with the understanding that if you choose to remain silent, that silence would not be held against you. You have the right to cross-examine the prosecution's witnesses. You have the right to bring in your own witnesses. You have the right to use the subpoena powers of the court to bring in those witnesses. And if you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights, and we will not have a trial of any kind. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. You understand when you plead guilty here today that you're giving up the rights, you're waiving the presumption of innocence, and you're waiving the requirement that they prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. To the charge operating while visibly impaired, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Were you operating a motor vehicle in the city of Woodhaven, County of Wayne on January 4th of 26 on Allen near Van Horn at 2:59 in the morning?
Yes.
Prior to that, did you drink alcohol? And if so, what did you drink and how much?
Yes, and about 6 beers.
Okay, was your ability to operate that motor vehicle impaired because of the alcohol consumption? And if so, in what way?
Yes.
How?
Drunk.
Well,
I know, but why were you
What
pulled
happened?
over by the police? Were you
Oh, I
weaving,
was,
swerving, speed?
Sorry, sir. I was sleeping. Well, the train pulled up and I put my car in park and I fell asleep.
I see. You think you did that at least in part because of your alcohol consumption?
Yes.
And did you take a breath test or a blood draw?
I did breath.
And counsel, were the results 0.136, and you so stipulate that that was an accurate reading for purposes of the plea?
There were actually two BACs, and yes, I stepped, Your Honor.
Are you on probation or parole, sir?
No,
Anybody forced you to plead guilty?
no.
Plea is accepted to that charge operating while impaired. The OWI is dismissed. He is 32, right? All right.
I'm 32.
I'm gonna give you a personal bond of $1,000. I'm gonna order a screening and assessment. John.
Yeah.
Go over to probation, see if they can screen and assess him today, will you? You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court. You cannot violate any law or ordinance. You must appear in court as directed. No alcohol, no marijuana, no illegal drugs. I do want you going to AA 1 time per week.
Your Honor, what's the defense name?
Hamill. We want to check and see if they're going to be able to screen them. They're really busy over there right now. Or do they want me to set a date? Okay, I want you to call over to probation. 734-671-0201. That's 671-0201. Extension 245, and see when they want him to come in. They're really busy. They're not gonna be able to do it right now, so. And I'll give you a new sentence date or a sentence date, and we'll go from there.
Thank
What do
you,
you
Your Honor.
have for me, Heather?
February 18th at 8:30.
At 8:30, council, okay?
Yeah, do you need us by Zoom or in person on that day?
I mean, if he's gonna be in the only, I want sobriety court cases by Zoom, I mean, in person. Other than that, if they're, if he's in your office with you, I don't have a problem with Zoom, okay?
No worries.
Either way, so you both show up here or you both show up there.
Thank you,
February 18th, 8:30. Anything else?
Nothing, Your Honor. I will call probation and try to get a schedule.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks. Kevin Hudson Sterling. 25W839-175.
Good morning, Judge and staff. John Graziani appearing on behalf of Kevin Sterling. Today is the day set for sentencing. Please identify yourself. So,
Good morning, Mr. Graziani. So your client pled guilty to retail fraud, and the agreement was it would be taken under 771.1. He was referred for a pre-sentence report. If he had a chance to review the report with him, and are there any material additions, corrections, or deletions? And by the way, there was an agreement that says 12 to 18 months. But there's an agreement for restitution of 482.36, I believe.
that's correct, Judge. And he's in a position to pay it. And is in a position also to make a $300 deposit for his funds for costs.
Okay, what would you like to say, counsel?
Judge, there's the only
And your name again?
Kevin Sterling, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
The only modification, Judge, that we're asking for is that in lieu of the court work program, we're asking for Mr. Sterling to participate in volunteer services and comparable hours. But other than that, we're satisfied.
Anything you'd like to say, sir?
Yeah, I just want to say I apologize for my behavior. It's been a very humbling experience, and I can just assure you I won't be in here again.
You know, I guess what bothers,
We do have the fingerprints over here if you'd like to put in the file.
the fingerprints?
We have the order for the fingerprints.
Oh, yeah, he already went and got printed, right?
That's correct, Judge.
Yeah, we can take that. Thank you. I think what bothers me is they knew you were doing this repeatedly. I mean, they called ahead. They knew you were going in there and stealing. This wasn't a one-time thing. I mean,
Judge, he is in a program right now and he's been aggressively attending it. And I told him essentially that he's on probation for the rest of his life. That's why I had no problem with the evaluation. And it can be used as a blueprint for him to play the rest of his life.
the evaluation, he's in a psychiatric,
He's receiving treatment at this time, Judge.
at where?
Got the new patient Vincent Taylor. It's evolution, mental health.
Okay, I'm just gonna say attend mental health treatment at a facility approved by probation, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
All right, 12, did I let everybody finish?
No, we're fine, Judge. We're fine.
12 months probation, you cannot leave the state, and I'll take it under 771.
Thank you, Judge.
You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court or violate any law or ordinance. You must appear in court with probation as directed. You're not to have any contact with employees of the Woodhaven Aldi store. You're not to enter 20076 West Road in Woodhaven or any other Aldi store. You're to attend the mental health treatment at a facility approved by probation. I'm not going to order the positive strategies, but you are going to serve 3 days on the court work program. There's a $35 a day charge for that for a total of $105, and I'm going to have you pay restitution of $482.36. I'm going to have you pay fines $100, costs $100, $75 victim rights fee, $50 justice assessment. So you have that. That's 3 1/4. Screening fee 60 for 385. You have probation fees of 240 for 625. You have court work program fees of 105 for a total of 730 plus your 482. So that should be $1,212.36. That includes everything. You have 21 days to appeal, 14 days to apply for a court-appointed lawyer. If you're compliant, the case will be dismissed at the end of a year on motion of the prosecutor. I'll give you a review hearing date. If you're not compliant, this will go on your record. You'll be subject to a 90-day jail term. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Counsel, how much does he have today?
He's got $300 to put down for the fines and court costs, and how much do you have for restitution?
I can pay the restitution today. Fully.
Do you have $800 you can pay today or not?
Yes.
You pay $800 now, and then I'll let you pay $100. I'll let you pay $100 bi-weekly, and I'll start that beginning next Friday, which is the 13th. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Give me the review hearing date form, Heather, please.
That'll be February 3rd.
February 3rd at 27 at 8:30 in the morning. We'll give you a notice. Make sure you put it in your calendar. You have to show up that day. Any questions? Okay, so you'll meet with probation. I don't know if they'll be able to instruct you to, but go down the hall, pay your fines, and we'll go from there, okay?
Judge, thank you so
But
much.
you have them check in with probation. Thank you, Mr.
Have a good
President.
day.
What's this? Michael James Lee.
Frost on custody.
Are they out there?
Yeah.
Michael James Lee, 26B 701-999. Good morning, Mr. Westmoreland.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Corey Westmoreland, appearing on behalf of Mr. Lee.
Sir, your name, please.
Michael James Lee.
Good morning, Detective, your name.
Good morning, Your Honor. Detective Crystal Tulas, Brownstown Police Department.
So what do we have here? We have 8 charge of OWI 3, suspend, open intox. And there's a habitual 3rd offense notice. So how's he going to proceed?
Your Honor, this time prepared to waive a formal reading of my stance.
Sir, I'm going to advise you of your rights. You have the right to remain silent. You do not have to say anything. If you say something in or out of court, whether orally or in writing, it can be used against you. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You have the right to a probable cause conference within 14 days. You have the right to a preliminary exam within 7 days thereafter. At the probable cause conference, your lawyer will discuss this case with the prosecutor. At the preliminary exam, if it goes that far, they have to prove that this crime of operating while intoxicated was committed and that you were the one who probably committed the crime. It's a probable cause hearing. So the preliminary exam the probable cause conference will be within 14 days. Preliminary exam will be within 7 days thereafter, unless Your lawyer at some point asked for an adjournment. Do you understand all of that?
Yes.
Also, I want you to understand that if you ever, that you have the right to a lawyer if you choose to submit the question with law enforcement officials. And if you ever do that, you have the right to be represented by your lawyer at that questioning, and you have the right to be represented by a lawyer at all subsequent court proceedings. Do you understand all of that?
Yes.
He's been printed, has he, Detective?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, why don't you go ahead, counsel? We're gonna address bond now, and we will go from there.
Yes, Your Honor, I would like to know Mr. Lee's currently living in Brownstown. He is gainfully employed full-time, working in Ford Motor Company for the last 26 years. He also is an Air Force veteran. He's not currently on probation or parole, has no other pending matters out of any other jurisdiction. After speaking with Mr. Lee, he did assure me he would be appearing at all future court dates and understands the importance of doing so. I would just ask that all that be taken into account with necessity bond.
All right, what do you have to say, Detective? Anything?
Yes, Your Honor. Given the severity of the charges, the fact that he has two prior misdemeanor OWI convictions and a felony OWI conviction, and the nature of the charges, the fact that he was a .285 BAC and had open intox in the vehicle, and his license is revoked indefinitely due to those priors, he's clearly showed a disdain for following the law. We would respectfully request that at a minimum, he be outfitted with a SoberLink device, and given a cash bond.
How much do you make in your employment, sir?
About 100,000.
All right. 15,000, 10%. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court or violate any law. You must appear in court as directed. You're going to be able to post that bond, right, sir?
Yes.
No alcohol, no marijuana, no illegal drugs. You're not to purchase, possess, or consume any one of those. You're not to operate a motor vehicle without a valid license. You're to attend AANA at least 4 times a week, and you have to go in person. And every time you go, you have to bring your AA form with you, and you have to have it signed. Okay? So you have to go 4 times a week. You are to be on a SoberLink device by the end of the day. So, I don't know. They're just so busy over there. I don't know what they're gonna. I hope you can post that bond right now, and then I'm gonna release you, but you have to go over and get a SoberLink device, and that's gonna be in Livonia at house arrest. Sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little flat for some. Go ahead. You want a collar?
No, I will. I gotta have somebody come over and have you guys explain how he gets sober device, okay? So he's gonna post one and come over here. You guys do, all right? Thanks. Michael Lee. Thanks. All right, so that's what you'll do. You're gonna come back over here after you post your bond, and they will tell you where you go and get your SoberLink device, sir. And I'm entering a not guilty plea, by the way. What are they doing here? Oh, we got another suspend charge out of Brownstown, huh? I didn't see that. This is 26B 150038. your appearance again.
Attorney Corey Westmoreland, bringing on behalf of Mr.
He
Lee.
stands mute on this, waives formal reading.
That's correct.
$500 personal bond. You cannot leave the state without consent. You cannot violate a law. You must appear in court as directed. On that case, I'm giving you, February the 11th is a pretrial date. February the 11th as a pretrial date, and that'll be at 10 a.m. So that's what you're going to do on that one. And then the felony, you're going to be here February 17th at 9:30 and February 24th at 11. And you'll be in front of Judge Hessen on those cases, except for the misdemeanor, I believe is mine. So on the felony charge, you're going in front of Judge Hessen. Do you fully understand everything, Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Did you need something? What's your appearance?
Elizabeth Bosbridge, Your Honor. Pam indicated that you needed somebody to instruct on sober link in the courtroom.
However you want to do it, I was going to have him come over here.
Oh,
I mean, but he's not going to have a car. Why don't you call over to Brownstown and talk to him? Call over to Brownstown.
stay on Zoom, I can zoom in.
They'll zoom in and she'll explain it to you, sir, how you got to go about getting that SoberLink device, okay?
Yes.
So just keep them on Zoom if you would, Ms. Toulas. Thank you.
Yes,
Thanks.
Your Honor.
While
I'm sorry, what was his bond on his DWLS? I missed that
I
one.
gave a $500 personal bond. While Mohammed Alonzi, come on up here, sir, 25WA38813A and B. Is Alonzi here?
They were here, they checked in, I don't know where they. There's a pool of houses here on his, so they're ready to go, all right.
I know. Got so many leads. Burnett? Lee Burnett, 26F730037.
Attorney Corey Westmoreland, bearing on behalf of Mr. Burnett. Mr. Burnett, can you please state your full name for the record?
Your name, sir?
Yes,
I need your name.
Lefty, CLIFTY, Burnett, BURATT.
This is another felony, drunk driving. What does he wish to do for purposes of arraignment?
Yes, Your Honor, it's time. Very quick, one more.
All right, so sir, I'm going to advise you of your rights. You're charged with operating while intoxicated, third offense, and you got a habitual second notice, meaning you could get 1.5 times the maximum. So this is a 5-year felony. You got a prior felony conviction, you could get 7.5 years. You have the right to remain silent. You do not have to say anything. If you say something in or out of court, whether orally or in writing, it could be used against you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to be represented by a lawyer, not only today, but at all subsequent court proceedings. Also, if you ever choose to submit to questioning with law enforcement officials, you do have the right to be represented by a lawyer at that questioning. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to a probable cause conference within 14 days. You have the right to a preliminary exam within 7 days thereafter. At the probable cause conference, your lawyer will discuss this case with the prosecutor. At the preliminary examination, the people have to show that the crime was committed and that you were the one who probably committed the crime. If they prove that, you'll be bound over for further proceedings to the circuit court. If they fail to prove that, then the charge would be dismissed. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Probable cause conference will be February 17th at 9:15. Preliminary exam, February 24th at 11:15. I'm entering a not guilty plea. You're gonna have to fill out a petition for a court-appointed lawyer if you want one going forward. What do we have here? What do you want to say?
Yes.
Does he work?
Your Honor, he's a retired Navy veteran. He's currently retired from other work. He's not on probation or parole, has no pending matters. He lives in Lincoln Park. And after speaking with him, did assure me he would be appearing at all court dates. He did walk in on the 23rd of January, but it was after whatever time, so they told him to come back. So he appeared today on his own practices.
Is Rembiz here by chance? Am I right? It looks like the last one, the 07.
I believe it's several years.
Did you call Rembis?
Did I call who?
Rembis.
I did. He's out of the area.
They're not gonna have anybody come in.
No, they're having a phone staying on.
Sir, what kind of income do you enjoy? What kind, do you have a pension?
No, sir, all I get is unemployment, or, yeah,
Social Security?
social security, and it's, $733 a month.
Hmm. So. So it doesn't sound like you would be able to post a bond, right?
Not this time, no, sir.
You're gonna have to come up with money to get a SoberLink device. I'm gonna give you a $10,000 personal bond. 10,000 personal. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court. You cannot violate a law. You must appear in court as directed. No alcohol, no marijuana, no illegal drugs. Attend AANA at least 4 times per week. And you are to be on a SoberLink device by the end of the day. So probation will explain where you have to go for that. Have you been printed on this case? Did you ever go over and get printed? Let me just double check something here. Yes, it looks like you were printed. So we don't need to worry about that. You're gonna go down the hall, you're gonna get your notices. You're gonna fill out a petition for a court-appointed lawyer. Then you're going to go over to probation, where they'll explain where you have to get the SoberLink device. And then you have to go get the SoberLink device. Do you understand that? So somebody's gonna have to drive you if you don't have a valid license. I don't know what the current status of his license is. I didn't check. But that's where we are with it, okay? Do you understand everything?
Yes, sir.
You have any questions?
No, you're not.
All right, you'll be a Judge Hessen when you return. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Have a nice day, Ron.
You too. Real quickly, I'm gonna take Dewan Henry Douglas, 26W841204. Mr. Jadala, your appearance.
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Douglas.
All right, so there's gonna be a plea to impeding traffic. And the improper tow will be dismissed. True, counsel?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, you're authorized to enter this plea on behalf of the company?
I am, Your Honor.
On behalf of the defendant, I should say.
Yes, Judge.
Do that charge impeding responsible or not responsible?
Having the authority to do so, we take responsible, Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna accept the plea, $210. I'm gonna dismiss the original charge, defendant to pay by the 11th, okay?
Thank you,
Have a
Judge.
good day. Thank you very much. Take care of yourself. Hunter
Thank
Smith,
you.
Ebonique Allen Hunter Smith, 2W829943A and B. So I have a resist and obstruct. And can you straighten that? There you go. Straighten that out. Thank you. Your name?
Good morning, Your Honor. Marissa Boyles, P8643, on behalf of Ms. Hunter Smith.
So I have here an attempted R&O, and then we also have the drunk driving that was reduced operating while impaired. Your name, ma'am? All right, so we're glad to take her. I'm glad to take her in a sobriety court. You gonna be able to do this?
Yes.
Why didn't you would you come in the mornings or the afternoons to status review? To status review hearings. Do you come in the morning?
In the morning, yes.
Why weren't you there this morning?
Was it supposed to be this morning?
Yeah, so you're gonna have to come in the afternoon. I'm just telling you, okay?
Okay.
All right, counsel, have you had a chance to review this report with her, and are there any material additions, corrections, or deletions?
We have reviewed it, Your Honor. No additions, deletions, or corrections to the report.
All right, anything at all that you would like to say on her behalf?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll just note that she's been doing extremely well since you last saw her. She is 39 years old, employed. Her husband's here in the courtroom supporting her today. All of her tests have been coming back negative. She's been attending AA. She also enrolled in substance abuse treatment as well. So with all that being said, Your Honor, she's ready to embrace the sobriety court program, comply with all of the requirements, and move forward at this time. So I would just ask you to sentence her to sobriety court with any possible jail held in abeyance. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am, anything that you would like to say?
That I think that I'll be able to complete sobriety report with no problems, and I don't ever want to get in trouble.
Your attitude's changed over time. Right? You know, I never wanted to scare you. I wanted you to understand your conduct and the way you talked to that officer was inappropriate. But I'm gonna be glad to take you in here. And I'm gonna run these terms concurrent on both the impaired and the attempt R&O, except obviously there's greater penalties on the attempt R&O. 2 years probation. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court. You cannot violate any law or ordinance. If you change your address, place of employment, or home telephone number, you must notify probation. You do have to report to probation as directed. No marijuana, no alcohol, no illegal controlled substances. You're not to go to any place that sells or dispenses alcohol as its primary source of business. I'm talking about like a bar or any place where drugs are being used or consumed. You're to submit to chemical testing on demand of probation department. You're to pay all costs, but we're going to pay for your testing going forward. As long as you test negative every time, we're going to pay for your SoberLink. We're going to pay for your chemical testing as long as you test every time and you test negative every time. You're to complete an additional 60 days on the SoberLink device. Again, we'll get that switched into your name. You're to attend AA. And when I say that, I mean, we'll get it switched where it's going to be on our dime. You're to attend 12-step meetings 3 times per week and provide written proof. You're to obtain an AA sponsor. You're to attend all substance abuse treatment at a facility approved by probation. You're to attend the Victims Impact Panel. You're to attend the Armed Specialty Program. You're to report to sobriety court status review hearings with me every 2 weeks. You're to obtain and maintain employment with proof provided to the probation department. Now, just bear with me 1 second.
Thanks.
I'm going to have you serve 11 days jail credit 1, but I'm going to give you, you're not going to have to go to jail. So you're going to serve 5 days on the court work program and 5 days of community service. So 40 hours community service plus 5 days on the court work program. You're going to pay, oh, what's wrong?
I said thank you.
You're going to pay $175 in court work program fees, and I'm going to give you all the way until June the 10th to complete your community service on this case, okay? So 5 days court work, 5 days community service. In terms of fines and costs, you're going to pay fines $200, costs $200. I'm going to do the best I can because there's a lot of fees involved. 75 victim rights, $50 justice assessment. That's $5.25. Screening fees 60 for $585. Probation fees are $480 for $1,065, and then you have sobriety court fees of $360 for a total of $1,425. Plus, you have your court work program fees. Your total here amounts to $1,000. $600. If you violate, your probation could be revoked, you could be incarcerated for 93 days. You have 21 days to appeal. You have 14 days to apply for a court-appointed lawyer for purposes of appeal. I'm going to now just indicate that counts 1 and 2 run concurrent. And so all terms are going to run concurrent with this, okay? If you violate on count 1, you could get 365 days. That's the attempted R&O. If you violate you could get a year, and then on count 2, you could get possibility of 93 days if you violate. You have 21 days to appeal, 14 days to apply for a court-appointed lawyer. And on count 1, I'm simply going to go fines 100, costs 100, 75 victims' rights fee, and $50 justice assessment. So I'm only going to fine you 3 1/4 on that, okay? And again, that will be or 365 days. If you violate any of the terms and conditions I outlined, again, if you violate on the drunk driving, the impaired driving, I should say 93 days. You have 21 days to appeal, 14 days to apply for a court-appointed lawyer. You'll meet the probation. I look forward to getting to know you, Ms. Hunter Smith. You're gonna change your life dramatically going through this. Do you have all this money to pay, or do you need some time?
Got it. Have a good one.
How much do you have today?
300.
How much?
300 today.
Okay, and then you have the bond of 300 too. So here's what I'm gonna have you do. I'm gonna have you pay Heather, we're gonna have her pay now the 3 1/4. That's on the attempt R&O. She's gonna pay that now. And then she's gonna pay $275 on count 2. Pay $275 on count 2. And then how much can you pay weekly or bi-weekly?
100.
You sure?
Yeah.
Then $100 weekly beginning February the 27th. Okay? You'll meet with probation. We'll get you straightened out. I wish you well. Good luck.
Thanks.
But you have to come this afternoon, though. You understand that, right? All right. Good luck. Thank you. Thanks. Nice to have.
In this shocking courtroom moment, a woman appears before the judge clearly intoxicated during her own hearing. The judge quickly notices her behavior and warns that showing up to court drunk is a serious problem. When she starts making strange claims about being connected to the president, the judge shuts it down immediately and focuses on the real issue, her alcohol use. Instead of jailing her right away, the judge reschedules the case and gives a strict warning: do not drink and do not drive before the next court date. The judge also encourages getting help for the alcohol problem before things get worse. What do you think? Should someone be punished for showing up to court drunk? Comment your thoughts below and like and subscribe for more real courtroom moments.